Hi, welcome. So in this video, we are going to continue with what we ended with in the last video. And in the last video, we're looking at how to do joins, and we looked at the left, the right join, and then the inner join. So we are going to continue to look at how you can do an outer join in SQL, because there are times when you don't only want maybe data maybe from the left table only to have that mapping, or from the right table only to have that mapping, but you want to have all the data to be mapped. So everything should be listed on the left table, as well as everything should be listed on the right table, and both of them should be on the same table and mapped. So we'll just go to the computer and see how to do this, and we're going to introduce the union function in this case. So let's just go and do that. Okay, so we already have our commands that we've gone through so far: the select, from, join on, where, group by, having, order, limit. So this order is always very important. That's why I always stress them at the beginning of every video. So you keep to this order, because SQL work, the syntax works in that order. So the last video, you can always go back and check and see what we've done already with the left join, the inner join, the right join, and then we are going to take on from there with the outer joins, because at times you want all the data. And also this database, this data is we created it with a script in a previous video, so you can just go back to one of the previous videos and you would see the video of how to create this data set, so that you can be able to be on the same page, and also a video of how to install my SQL Workbench. You can always go to a previous video and you'll see that. So that's fine. Now let us peep into these tables and see what they contain again, so that we can be able to understand the outer join and what it brings. So select star from, they take the first table, we'll take this first table here, the staff demographic, and then next will be the staff salary. So let's just take the staff demographic here, and then when you run this, you're able to get your first table. And the key thing to note about this table is that it has this staff ID 112, and which the other staff salary table doesn't have. So let's get the staff. So let's just put a semicolon here, and then we open this, get this one, select star from staff demographic, run this one. Now instead select from staff salary. We already have staff demographic, so we should take staff salary instead. Run this. Now you see clearly that this one has 110, but the previous one didn't have 110. So if I run both, you have 110 here. So you have 101 to 109 and 110. Here you have 101 to 109 and 112. So 112 is here, no 110. 110 is here, no 112. So we want to do the join. So in the last video, we saw how to do a left join and right join and inner join. So we said we could do select star. Let me close this. Select star from. You can take any of the tables, like the left table. So let me just take this time around, I'll take the staff salary like the left table. In the last video, we took the staff demographic table, so I'll take the staff salary. So all is it doesn't matter. Just you might want this to be the first few columns of your table. So from staff salary, then you go to join, and now you bring in the other table, staff demographic here, this one, and then you say you want to join on, because join always goes with on. Let me get that on. Now you're specifying staff salary dot staff ID, because that is the column that unifies them. Staff ID, and then staff demographic still dot staff ID. In this case, both tables had the same names for the staff ID column. So when we run this, we get the inner join. There is no 110, there is no 112. So this is what we saw in the last video. You can always go back and review it, and then to be able to better master it. So now let's look at the left. So the left of this is when you run this, you get the 110, because now the staff salary is on the left, so it had 110, but there will be no 112 here, because it takes first every element of the left table, and then it maps where there is no corresponding element. It just says missing value, and then there's no 112 under here. So the outer join is the opposite. The objective of the outer join is to be able to have 101, 19, 110, 112, to have everything listed here in that column, and then it's mapping across. Is it in table 1? Okay, it's here. Is it in table 2? If it's not there, it should be missing. Is it in table 1? It's missing, put null here. Is it in table 2? It's available. So the null should be this way and both this way. So that's what the outer join is trying to do. Get in every data, leave no data out. So another thing that could have been done, if you see, if we do the right join, as we saw in the last video, you can always go back and check. And then that here is the right join is here, right. Let me just keep the same caps, right join. So when we run this one now, we get now the null values are on the left, the right is complete. You have the 112 here now, and then it doesn't find a corresponding match on the left, so it is saying null values here. So what could have been good is, how could it be possible that we just run this, and then we have this one merging with this other one and forming one big table where 110, we know that on the right will be null, and then 112 will be added under here, and on the left will be null. So that is the outer join, and that is where now function like union is going to come into play and will help you achieve just that. So how do we do that? What you need to do is, when you write your select statement like this with the left join, and you write the second one with the right join, to glue them together, you will need to add a union in between them. So let's add that union. Let's add that union. So take off this so that it feels like one big block of code. So if now you select this one here and you run it, so you get exactly what you wanted to get, which is the outer join. So now you have 101 to 109, 110, and then there's provision for the 112, even though the left table doesn't have the 112, but it leaves room for the 112 for the right table. Same as the right table has 101 to 109. It has 112 but doesn't have 110, so it skips and leaves provision for the 110 to be having its own mapping. So this is a small data set, but this could be very, very effective for big data sets where there are lots of values that are not common to both of them. And then you have all that data here, so much data, that you can now be able to use now this new table to continue with your analysis and be able to get more insight from there. So when you run this, you have this table which you have all the staff ID represented and is an example of an outer join. So I hope you have been able to learn how to do outer joins in SQL, especially using the union function. So hope to see you next video. Wish you good data luck.